Hi everyone and welcome to the latest episode of Just Good Games. A little while ago, I made a game pitches video based on my favourite anime series, Attack on Titan. I pitched an Attack on Titan game in the style of Monster Hunter. Well, I'm back again and this time I'm pitching a game based on my second favourite anime, My Hero Academia. But before we go any further, I just want you to do one thing, and that's go down there and hit that subscribe button. So before I pitch any game, I always like to do a bit of research and see if there's any games that I've missed that are pretty much like what I'm pitching. To my surprise, for a property that has been around for quite a while, there's very few My Hero Academia video games, and the ones that I found were either mobile games, which are so-so, or fall into the beat 'em up genre. My Hero 1's Justice and My Hero 1's Justice 2. They are also a bit so-so, and from what I can gather they play like the Marvel vs Capcom games but just aren't as good as the reviews seem to indicate. As I've said, that both games are a bit so-so. So from what I can see, there's definitely a gap in the market for a JRPG style My Hero Academia game on a console. Coming up with a My Hero Academia JRPG should really be a piece of cake, but there's actually quite a few things that you have to take into account, and there's two games which I really think you could nick a lot of the elements from and smush them together and make a cracking My Hero Academia game, and that is Persona 5 and Final Fantasy 7 Remake. Now, I'm not explicitly going to take you through all the ins and outs and story beats of what I think the story of this game should be, but what I am going to do is give you an outline and an idea of the direction that it would take. This was actually one of the more tricky things to figure out, and there's some big questions to ask. Do you play as Deku or any of Class 1A? Are you a completely new and customizable hero? Do you follow the story of the anime or focus on just one part? Do you set it alongside the story of the anime, or do you put it in one of the gaps like one of the films? There's a lot to get your head around. Also, if you want to go out and help people and be a hero for some sub-stories or some main stories, you would either need to be part of an internship, a work study, or have a provisional hero's license. So what I'm saying is there's a lot of ways to take this and a lot of law to adhere to. With that all in mind, I went for the way that would allow you the most freedom and would allow you to have a greater level of customization. What I'm suggesting is you play as a new, fully customizable hero who is transferred to Class 2A. There's many pros to this way of thinking. As a new character in Class 2A, this allows you to have a customizable hero, but you can pick his or her powers, customize the way they look, and allow for a brand new story which runs alongside all of the main story while allowing you to interact with all the familiar characters of the anime series. Being in the second year of UA High also means you will already have your provisional hero license. This allows you to have very little restrictions on what missions you can do, but more on that later. So at the beginning of the story, you'll be a new second year transfer to UA High from another school in the My Hero Academia universe. It will be set over a school year where you will continue your hero education and work with a hero agency that helps bring down a group of villains over the course of the year, possibly with links to All for One. This is just the basics, and there will be lots of action and twists and turns throughout the story. There's only really two ways to do combat in JRPGs, and in most games to be honest, and that's turn-based or real-time. But Final Fantasy 7 Remake managed to combine the best elements of both to create a hybrid style that is really enjoyable and works, so this would be implemented in My Hero Academia game. Basically how it works is you have basic attacks you can use, and that fills up an ATB bar. Once the bar is full, or like sections of the bar are full, you can bring up a menu and activate a special attack. You will also have finishing moves that are pretty much like limit breakers in Final Fantasy 7, and that bar fills as you take damage. So for instance, if this game was all about All Might, On a quick side note, a game where you play as a young All Might would be really cool and could even conclude with him fighting All for One for the first time. But I digress. You would punch, kick and dodge until your bar fills. Then you would be able to use special attacks like Detroit Smash and Texas Smash. When your finisher bar is full, you will be able to unleash United States Smash. These battles will be a bit more dynamic than the Final Fantasy VII Remake battles, as dodging, counter-attacking and environmental moves will come more into play. If you time a dodge perfectly, it will fill a little bit more of your ATP bar, and if it's enough, you'll be able to unleash a special move which is prompted by a quick time event which will allow you to counter instantly. It would have a bit more of a Kingdom Hearts 3 vibe to it, but it would still be closer to Final Fantasy VII Remake. Using All Might was just an easy example to explain the combat system, as we all know his moveset and his style is clearly defined. The customization of your hero will play into how combat works, much more than Final Fantasy VII Remake. You have 7 classes to pick from for your character. A brawler type hero, similar to All Might and Deku. Elemental, similar to Todoroki and Endeavor. Tank, which is like Red Riot and Fat Gum. Ranged, like Bakugo. Mind, like Eraserhead. Speed, like Ida, and a special class that allows you to pick a subclass straight away for powers like Su's, Tokiyami's and others. Each of these classes will also have subclasses, as I just mentioned a while ago. To unlock these, you do training and missions and other tasks. One of the subclasses for the brawler class would be the shoot style which Deku uses now. This will be a pretty deep system which will hopefully have your hero feeling pretty unique. The special moves will also have to be learned by doing side quests and training, but like a Pokemon game and Persona game, you have to swap the moves as you progress. The game would play out over a full school year, so the calendar system of Persona 5 is a perfect way to implement this. On certain days, main story events would play out, but after that you'll be given a fair amount of free time to do side quests, train and socialise with your classmates. Most side quests will be given to you from the teachers of UA High or from the hero you are currently doing a work study for. These are all completely optional and you won't be able to do all the work studies or missions in one playthrough, as you only have a set amount of time and doing a mission progresses the day. But it's worth doing these missions as it allows you to learn more advanced moves and to get better gear and support items. These missions would also be pretty fun to play also, which is the point of doing side missions. During the school day you have to attend classes and socialise with your school friends. The classes game will allow your hero to progress and unlock moves, subclasses and gear. The socialising with your friends increases your bond level with your classmates, and if your bond level reaches a high enough level, then they will accompany you on missions and unlock special combo moves. And other events will be triggered and new side missions will be unlocked. This will all happen in a semi-open world area like Persona 5, but the areas will be much bigger. There will also be random events happening in the world, so like throwing a few muggins and general crimes, and stopping them will allow you to gain experience and level up. This is pretty much the structure of the game. Like most JRPGs, you can do as much as you want or as little as you want. Obviously, you have to make it to a high enough level to get through the game, but besides that, the world is your oyster. One final thing is you'll be able to really customise your character as well, with different hairstyles, costumes, support gear and other stuff like that. That will really give your character a unique feel. In all honesty, I don't know why there's not been a definitive My Hero Academia game. Maybe they're waiting for the anime to end. A young All Might game, also in the style of PlayStation Spider-Man, is crying out to be made, but that is another video for another time. This is how I would do a My Hero Academia game in the style of a JRPG. Basically ripping the best bits from Final Fantasy VII Remake and Persona 5. Does this sound good? Let me know in the comments below. All you have to do now though is go down there, hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, share, follow us on Instagram, Twitter and watch the Twitch streams, Just Good Games 18. And thank you again for watching, and you have been watching Just Good Games.